Hello, my name is Vincent Bey Hua Ek with matric number 2790118, and today I'll be talking about the utilized data structure concept. So the data structure that we use for this assignment is the contiguous list by using array. Essentially, we use an array to store objects in sequential order as a way to implement the list. There are a number of operations that the program can perform, such as creating the list, finding out if the list is empty or full, adding a new element, updating the element, removing an element, searching for an element, and printing the list. The element that I've stated refers to the vacation objects which will be used in the program. Before we can implement the list, we first have to initialize the content of the list, which are the vacation objects as we are using array of objects. So this is the vacation class, which contains the elements of the objects, the constructor, the accessor and mutators, and the toString method, which will allow us to manipulate the output of the program. With the vacation class initialized, we are ready to implement the list using array of objects. So with this line of code, we are initializing the list called vacations, which will have the space to store 5 vacation objects. We now move on to the operations of list, the first one being to find if the list is empty or full. So as you can see here, the two methods are the isEmpty method and the isFull method, which will return true if the list is empty or if the list is full. So this will help us in the following operations as we need to use them to do some of the things that we want to do. Now moving on to adding an element to the list. So okay, here it is. So adding a vacation object means we are adding it to the array or the list in this case. The object or the action will be in sequential order, where the first added object will be in index 0 and so on, with the second being in index 1 and so on. So this isFull method allows us to check if the list is full or not, because if it is, then we are unable to add more objects in, as that will create an error. So if it's not, it will allow us to enter or allow the user to enter the input for the vacation and the details they want, and that will be placed inside the array or the list. We then move on to the next operation, which is the update operation. So the update operation will first have an isEmpty method, where if the list is empty, there's nothing for us to update. Therefore, this method is important for us to first filter that. If the list is not empty, it will display the current objects that are in the list, and then they will ask you which vacation would you like to update. So you will choose your vacation which you want to update, enter all the details for the new object, and once you do that, the new vacation object will be placed and will replace the one that you have chose. So this option is mainly for you to change the details of a certain object, or for you to add in a new object if the list is already full. Since if it's full, you cannot add it again. You would have to remove one and place in one, which this update function does. Now we will move to the delete method. This delete method is a little bit more complicated and consuming in computational power. The reason why I say that is because the user will pick which object to delete. Unlike adding an object, which is sequential and according to the order of an array, deleting means you choose which object you want to delete. So if you choose an object which is in the middle of an array, that will need a few actions that you have to do for the program. So we start off with the scanner, and then we go on to the isEmpty method, where if it's empty, there's nothing to delete. So the system will output vacation list is empty. Now if it's not, it will display all the current objects of the list, and they'll ask you which vacation would you want to delete. So you will enter which vacation you want to delete. Now this line will tell you is to check whether the index or the input of the user is correct or not. If it's not, then it will be an invalid index. If it is a correct one, this line of code is important. So what it does is it deletes the initial code, or it deletes the initial object, and it moves forward the objects at the back to fill in the gap of the deleted object. So let's say you have 5 objects, the middle one being deleted. You now have a space in the middle. So this line of code will move the 4th and the 5th object into the 3rd and 4th position respectively. And then that's all for the delete method. We move on to the search method. Now this search method will need an input of the location. We choose location as that will be the primary part of a vacation. So what happens is, if the user picks that they want to search for a vacation, the system will output enter the location that you want to search for. The user will input the location, and the search method will be called using the parameter location. So what happens is the location is then used to compare the objects. So the location, which is the input, will be compared to the vacation of the objects using the for loop. And if it is true, the system will output location found and the details of the location. If it's not, then the system will print out no vacations found. As usual, the search function or search method will have an isEmpty method to ensure that the user know the list is empty, therefore they cannot search anything. If it's not empty, then the program will run, or the method will run. Now finally, we go to the display method. So display method will print out all the objects within the list, and before that, it will search if it's empty or not. Because if it's empty, there's nothing to print out. So if it is empty, the system will print out vacation list is empty. If it's not, the header of the table will be printed out, and then the for loop will run through all the objects within the list. So for every object within the list, all the elements of the object will be printed out before it moves on to the next object. So that will be all from me. I'll pass it on to Wykit, which will go through the sample output. Thank you.
Good day to doctor. My name is Pun Wykit. My mention number is 279021. And my group, I represent our group assignment. So first of all, I represent about our class is vacation list. So this code will run about the list. And then the first one, okay, so at first we will show the list is empty. Okay, so we run update vacations, the update method, the delete method also, vacation list. Okay, there's nothing. We try to search Sinto, no, nothing also. Display also nothing. Okay, so we'll add 5 objects for our vacation list. Okay, the first one, all right, we'll try to put Sinto, and then the badminton for our activities. So and then we'll ask the facilities. Facilities will put UM and scan it, and then scenery will be Puncak V, for example, and then the next will be peaceful environment. Okay, the next one will be minutes duration, so 90 minutes, and then the budget will be 15 ringgits. All right, the first object we created. Okay, so I will speed up the video and do the other 4 objects. So now we will try to update the vacation list. So we will put the second choice of update vacation methods. Okay, second one, and then we'll ask about which of the location want to update. So we choose the second one, Clang logging. Okay, so for example, we want to choose Clang, so we put second choice. All right, second one. Okay, you ask again about location, so we update to Ipoh, tennis, and then will be Pusat F, and then we'll ask scenery also urban, and then we'll pick competitive because competitive, and then okay, and then the duration for 80 minutes, and the budget will be 50 ringgits. All right, so we show the second one is already updated. All right, so we will move on to the next one, delete vacation. So we choose delete methods. Okay, so which one we want to delete? So any is okay, so we will just pick the lunas. Okay, so if you pick lunas, then we pick 3 lah, 1 2 3 there. Okay, 3. Okay, so if we delete, okay, delete the method, only 4 left. And then we will try the next method will be a search method. The search method will be the number 4 choices, search vacations. Okay, which one we want to choose? So first of all, like we pick the already delete one, lunas. Okay, so lunas, no vacation found with location lunas. Okay, we will run back to there and ask. So we will try to do it again, search vacations. Okay, enter the locations, so we try to find Ipoh. So it will show up Ipoh, the Ipoh vacations one. Okay, so that will be good. Okay, the last one will be display methods. So we choose the fifth one because display vacations to display all our lists. Okay, so put 5. Okay, so it will show all the lists we have done, we created. Okay, and that's all from me. And yeah, I think the sixth one will be the exit. Okay, so we put on the 6. All right, good success. Okay, that's all from me. I think that is all from our presentation for our coding. All right, thank you.